boy, has it been a windy, rainy, cold winter. Well, there's a couple items I've covered on past Home Tip Tuesdays, but I want to cover them again. I actually have run into a couple clients that have had issues, and I wish they would have done these items before they end up having these problems. Okay, so one, clean your rain gutters. Those rain gutters, if they back up, the water will actually go underneath. Like if you have a tile roof, you go under the tile. If it gets under the paper, it's going to leak. It would be a problem you would never have had before. Your roof probably would have been just fine. But if your gutters get clogged up and the water builds up and goes up underneath those roof lines, it's going to cause an issue. So make sure you're keeping all your rain gutters clean. So I know that I always tell people, oh, do it before the rainy season starts. Well, we've had such a rainy, windy season this year. You might want to go back and just check them again. So the other thing, and I actually had a client call me, and they bought their home from me like 12 years ago. They just never thought it was a big deal. So they never cleaned their yard drains. So on the tops of your drains, leaves can collect and all of that. So that's a visible thing. You can see that, but you want to make sure you remove all those leaves from the drains. But in addition, things happen in the drain lines. So sometimes roots will get in there. Sometimes just dirt and debris are getting in there. I actually had a client that had a rodent in there. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning those out. So what you're going to want to do is take a hose and run it through the line and make sure that the line is going all the way to the street. So the water is actually coming out of the street. Because if it's going to back up with the hose, it's going to back up with the rains, especially with how much rain we've had. And these poor people actually they were out of town, their backyard filled up, and it actually came into their house. So you definitely want to make sure that you're taking care of these items. I know they seem like no big deal because we're in California and we don't get that much rain, but this year we've had so much rain, so much wind. Again, I know I always say do these things at the beginning of the season, but with how much rain and wind we've had, your gutters could have gotten filled up with leaves even if you did it already at the beginning of the season. So definitely, please go check those out. Just do a visual. If there's leaves and debris in there, make sure you remove them. And then one more thing, on the roof line, if you have one of those roof lines that come like this, there's a little valley, because sometimes like above the front door a lot of times, or different areas between the garage and the house, there'll be a valley that goes on the roof. Check there too, because if there's a bunch of leaves, and I just drove by a house the other day and I saw branches and stuff in there, if it stops the water from flowing and getting off the roof and it just sits there, it has a tendency to seep through. So you'll end up with a roof leak from that as well. And these are all things that maybe you wouldn't have had an issue at all. The roof would never have leaked because the water would just ran off. So make sure you take care of these items. If you have any questions, again, I'm Tami Cicerello with the Cicerello team at RE/MAX of Santa Rita. Have a great day. Stay dry.